Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something absolutely game-changing. We are looking at the subtle little words that actually bridge the gap between sounding like a beginner in English and speaking with advanced natural fluency. And honestly, I was amazed to discover that it really all just comes down to mastering a few specific connectors.
You know that feeling when you're mid-sentence, you know exactly what you want to say in your head, but suddenly you just struggle to link your thoughts smoothly out loud. You end up with these choppy, disjointed sentences. Well, we are going to look at exactly how to fix that choppiness and unlock truly natural communication. The secret sauce here lies in what we call connectors. Basically, these are small words that link your ideas together. Words like however, because, or as a result. Native speakers use these constantly, literally without even thinking about it. But for learners, they can be incredibly confusing. A lot of them look very similar but behave completely differently in a sentence. So we're going to clear all of that up today. Here's our map for this explainer. We'll start with showing contrast and surprises, then explaining cause and effect. Next, adding and clarifying ideas. After that, timing and conditions, and we'll wrap up with your daily fluency challenge. Section 1. Showing contrast and surprises. Navigating different ideas. Right off the bat, there is a very clear distinction between even though and even if, which, let's be honest, is a super common point of confusion. You use even though for hard facts, things that are already true. But you use even if when you're talking about something entirely hypothetical, like pigs flying. For instance, look at this. Even though he was tired, he finished the marathon. Being tired is a verified fact here, and even though introduces that fact to make the rest of the sentence, actually finishing the marathon, seem a little surprising and pretty impressive. Now let's move to our next connector. However, this word introduces a contrast, kind of like the word but the punctuation is the real key here. It usually demands a brand new sentence followed immediately by a comma. You have two totally separate thoughts. I wanted to go for a run, and it started raining. And however bridges them beautifully right at the very start of that second sentence. Another fantastic contrast connector is on the other hand. When you want to sound incredibly balanced, like you're weighing two different sides of an argument or looking at two sides of a coin, on the other hand is your absolute go-to. It operates structurally just like however, but it really emphasizes that you're exploring two distinct options. Section 2, explaining cause and effect, the why and what happened. First up in this section is a classic, because. So the crucial point for because is actually a grammar rule. It requires a full clause, meaning you absolutely must have a subject and a verb after it, not just a single noun. And what's really cool is you can completely flip the order. You can say, I stayed inside because it was raining, or you can start with the connector. Because it was raining, I stayed inside. It carries the exact same meaning, just with a different rhythm. Our next cause and effect connector is as a result. If you ever want a more precise, slightly more formal, leveled up version of the word so, this is the one to use. It perfectly shows that something happened, and directly because of that, something else occurred, just like missing a connection due to a delayed flight. Dropping this into conversation elevates your speech instantly. Section 3. Adding and clarifying ideas. Building on your thoughts. Take the phrase in addition. This connector has a really simple, clean structure, usually kicking off a brand new sentence, but man, it instantly makes your speech feel highly organized. When you're stacking facts like building blocks, say the amenities at a hotel, in addition makes you sound incredibly thoughtful and structured. Plus, who doesn't love free breakfast? Next is one you definitely know, but its power just can't be overstated. For example, to introduce a specific case that perfectly illustrates a general idea, for example, is essential. It beautifully links the broad concept, like a city having amazing food, to the specific, vivid reality of incredible street tacos. Sometimes you explain something kind of complex and you just need to simplify it for your listener. That is exactly where in other words comes in. It acts as this brilliant bridge to rephrase your thought into a much clearer, more direct format. You say the complicated thing, use in other words, and then just hit them with the simple truth. Section 4. Timing and conditions. Setting the roles. Our first connector here is as soon as. This one is all about immediate timing and pure urgency. And structurally, it's amazingly flexible. It works perfectly whether you drop it in the middle of your sentence or right at the beginning. As soon as you arrive, call me. Then we have unless. Think of unless simply as meaning if not. It's powerful because it introduces the one single condition, the deal breaker, that would completely change everything about your plan. We are definitely going to the beach unless it rains, in which case, well, we have a perfect excuse to stay inside.
Okay, lean in for this one, because here is a massive grammar tip you really need to remember. Even when you are talking about the future with the word unless, you must use a normal present tense verb right after it. I'll see you tomorrow unless something comes up. Notice it's comes up, present tense, not will come up. It works exactly like how we use the word if. Mastering this little rule instantly makes you sound like a total pro.
Section 5, your daily fluency challenge. Put it into practice.
So, take a look at this list. These are the 10 exact connectors that bridge the gap between basic, blocky vocabulary and truly fluent fluency. Each one of these little words serves a distinct, powerful purpose in organizing your thoughts out loud. I want to leave you with a challenge, taken directly from our source material. Out of the 10 we just covered, I want you to pick just one of these connectors to actively use today in a real conversation or even a text message. Just one. Because repetition is exactly how fluency becomes automatic. You don't need to memorize the entire dictionary. You just need to master the bridges between your thoughts. So which bridge will you build today? And more importantly, where is that new fluency going to take you tomorrow?